Look at us. We are dressed to kill and moving like greased lightning. We sit astride 1400cc of motoring menace, showered, shaved and smothered in deodorant, ready to hunt down our latest quarry. Yes, we are about to face the carpet cleaners.
Are you serious? We're gonna go through all this trouble to catch carpet cleaners?
Yep.
We should leave this one to Annie in the studio.
Nah, she's got laminate flooring everywhere. She can't stand the dust. Anyway, these are no ordinary carpet cleaners. They are masters of the bait and switch.
Master switches.
And baiters.
So what's that then?
Well, Dan, let me explain. Bait and switch is a classic wheeze for selling goods and services of all kinds. First off, you get an attractive offer, like a new motorcycle for 500 quid. Wow, you think that sounds great. But it turns out that the 500 quid bike is not all it might have been. Yeah. Too late. You've taken the bait. You're hooked in, and a salesman is intent on focusing your attention on something at a much higher price. This works because you can feel duty-bound to buy something, especially if it's a persuasive salesperson. And it works so well, the government has made it illegal. Tonight's company doesn't sell motorbikes, they sell carpet cleaning services. But Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited of Wimborne in Dorset employ the same bait and switch technique. It all starts off with an offer of £8.99 to clean 2 carpets. They offer to clean furniture too, also for a low, low price. Alison Hughes of Lymington in Hampshire wanted this suite cleaned, so when a leaflet from Enterprise dropped through her door,
I rang them and said, could they do 2 chairs? And they said yes, as well as a sofa, for a small extra amount.
Mrs. Hughes had taken the bait, and when the Enterprise cleaner came to call, it was time for the switch. He said,
well, no, it's just a very second-rate cleaning system, but our chemicals are amazing. So I was intrigued, and I thought, well, if I'm spending sort of 30 altogether, maybe a little more to have the chemicals, so I said, oh, how much are the chemicals? And he said, well, he said, so from 1 chair it would be getting on for 350. I said, well, what? And then I said, well, the 2 chairs. And he said, well, 400. And I said, but, you know, why did you put a leaflet through the door at such an inexpensive price?
and the price kept climbing. Mrs. Hughes was also persuaded to pay £100 to protect her suite from new stains.
It just evolved that suddenly to have this extra would be amazing, and, you know, your furniture would be brand new or look brand new. I'm just absolutely almost ashamed of myself to think that, you know, when he came, I was thinking, well, it'd be 30, 35, and by the time an hour and a half had gone, I'd parted with literally £500, and I just thought, how did that happen?
How indeed. But Mrs. Hughes, if only you were alone. You see, Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited is a booming business. They have 5 branches and say they have 90 employees. They also say they've made more than 26,000 house calls. 3/4 of those end up buying more than the £8.99 clean, which many of them initially signed up for. So it isn't just the gullible who fall for this technique, and if you've been had by it, you shouldn't feel ashamed or guilty. You see, bait and switch works. Big time.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it. There should be a law against this bait and swizzle thing.
Well, you know what? There is. Prohibited Act number 6 of the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008.
He carries a copy everywhere.
Yeah, well, somebody needs to know what they're talking about. Now the bit where we get a house and some secret cameras. Look at that, we've made sure it's got carpets, that's important, and there's an old lady to walk around on them. We've also got an expert, Mark Weston, commercial lawyer extraordinaire. He has seen the footage. And we have pre-taken the bait.
I'm interested in this deal you've got for £8.99 for 2 rooms.
OK.
Now it's time for the Enterprise Masterclass. 3 steps to sales success.
Yeah, right, this is the room I want done, OK?
Yeah. Bait and switch step 1. Get the more expensive product that you really want to sell in front of the client.
What'll do, I'll grab my machine.
Come in, put down 2 test patches for you.
Oh, test patches?
Yeah. Oh, nothing to worry about. Just see what, put down 2 levels of cleaning for you.
Why 2 test patches unless you're planning to offer something over and above what you came there to actually sell?
I'm going to do a deep clean and a maintenance clean, so you can see the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is the difference then? I don't know.
Maintenance clean, we just use the tool. With a deep clean, we use this, which is a preconditioner.
Mm-hmm.
It softens the pile of your carpet and starts to break the dirt down.
Why isn't he getting on with the service that he promised her? Sales patter is fine, but this is going beyond that.
Well beyond. What Enterprises man Chris Cooper has done is told us that for the $8.99 clean, they don't even spray any shampoo on your carpet first. Funnily enough, he can offer a much more effective cleaning service this very day. It might just cost our old lady a little more than she was expecting.
I've included that all in for you for $167.90.
And if you're struggling with the maths, that's more than 18 times the price they originally promised to clean her carpet for. Yes, inflation is well and truly back. Back to Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited now, the company that tempts customers with the offer of a cheap carpet clean, then gets them to agree to an upgrade worth hundreds. I'd never fall for that, you're thinking. Well, sit back and watch how it's done.
Back in Portsmouth, an Enterprise salesman is trying to persuade our elderly lady to spend a lot more than she planned to. We've already seen step 1 of his bait and switch scheme, which involved bigging up the more expensive service he wants to sell. Now it's time for bait and switch step 2, rubbishing the service that the customer actually wants to buy.
But sometimes it will make your carpet look worse.
What, a maintenance clean?
Yeah.
Amazingly, this is true. If your carpet is dirty, the service that Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited advertises for $8.99 could make your carpet appear worse because it brings deep down dirt up to the surface.
With the maintenance, we're just whizzing over the top, not really getting much dirt up.
He's dissing his own product. He's offered her a carpet clean for $8.99. She's entitled to expect a reasonable standard of carpet clean for $8.99. Classic bait and switch.
Now, bait and switch, step 3, close that sale. It's time to raise the question of what the more effective but more expensive clean will actually cost. A crystal clear comparison is what's needed here, but this is Enterprise Cleaning Services.
That's for $8.99, that's 49p a square foot.
He's given her the overall price for the cheap one, but he's given her a price per square foot for the other one. Now, particularly if you're dealing with somebody elderly, you shouldn't be explaining things like a price per square foot. You should give them an overall price.
I'm sure you've already worked this out, but 49 pence a square foot comes to £113.68. The price hike doesn't stop there.
The very top that we do, which includes a 12-month warranty, $167.90.
There's a lot of difference between $8.99 and $167, isn't there?
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, £167.90 is more than 18 times as much. Now she's queried it, here comes another tactic.
Do you want me to see if I can get this down for you? Is that something you'd be
What,
interested in?
167?
Yeah. Should I give him a bell?
Yeah, you can do.
A quick call to the office and the price falls quicker than George Michael's petrol bill.
Yeah, so for this entire room to be a beautiful deep clean with all the products and a stain shield, warranted, 126.
No, I'll just go for the $8.99, just give it a bit of a go.
Our elderly actress Sheila has now said no twice, but salesman Chris Cooper is more stubborn than a red wine stain on a cream carpet and hopes it'll be third time lucky.
Mrs. Matthew, because this is my last job of the day, I'm going to offer you a cracking deal, £75, and that includes all the chemicals as well.
He's gone back again and again, lowering the price each time. Classic pressure selling techniques. Now, those pressure selling techniques are not illegal, but they're very bad practice and certainly unethical.
Yeah. No, just carry on and finish, because I've made up my mind there.
Sheila has managed to resist the bait and switch. Many don't. 56 minutes ago, Chris Cooper arrived to clean 2 carpets for just $8.99. How much time does he spend cleaning them? Just 17 minutes.
Right, OK, dear.
Right,
That one as well as it, right?
In a
okay.
jiffy, the iffy carpet clean is finished and the Enterprise cleaner is off.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So Enterprise is using this $8.99 thingy to get into your house and then trying to sell you a more expensive service.
Oh yeah, it's the old bait and switcheroo, and it's been illegal since the 26th of May 2008. What a day.
And do all day salesmen do this?
Hard to tell, but there is one way to find out. Moley.
Yes, Frank the Mole. We can't tell you his real name, but it's also Frank. That should fool them.
Yeah, we've never been brilliant at aliases. Undercover filming, however, we have got the hang of. And just wait till you see what Frank captures on his concealed camera. Time for our final visit to Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited, a company whose whole business seems to be based on a so-called bait and switch scheme, a scheme that means most customers buying a much more expensive service than the one advertised. We've seen how they behaved in our house, but we haven't witnessed what goes on in theirs until now.
That's because our Moley, Frank, is just about to have an interview to become the company's latest carpet cleaning salesman.
I'm Frank.
Hi, Frank, how you doing?
Hiya.
Come on in.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Yeah, all right.
Come on in, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I'll just briefly go through the business.
Dorset branch manager Dean Grant tells him that the company gets its sales leads by advertising a carpet clean for $8.99. Well, we know that, but he makes it very clear that this service won't clean a dirty carpet.
On $8.99, the rare time that you do an $8.99, it's probably because the carpet's been down maybe 6 months. But the chances of you having a new carpet when you come into someone's house are very rare. They've already told us on the call that they need the carpets cleaned.
The fact he said the rare time you do it is one of the ingredients you need to prove a bait and switch. In other words, most of the time he's expecting not to give the service that's been advertised.
For argument's sake, if I went to your house and your carpet was 12 years old and I started doing a maintenance offer, it may resurface deep dirt and then you're going to be left with a real carpet.
So there you have it from the boss's mouth. The $8.99 service will make a carpet that needs to be cleaned look worse. What's more, Dean Grant explains that the deal is just to provide the bait in the company's bait and switch scheme.
It's an $8.99 deal, and again it would usually retail at about £40, but what we're doing as a new business, we're pumping it into people to get our foot through the door.
And once they've got their foot through that door, they have to sell, because they're only paid on commission.
And I'm going to show you what these boys earn on a daily basis. You start off from 40% of that, because obviously we make your appointments and we supply you with the van and machine and what have you. Right, he's worked over a period of time where he's on 50% of that. His total for the week was 3,000 overall take-ins, yeah? We took home 1,500 quid. And these boys are doing it week in, week out. Yeah. They're doing it, they're not, these aren't flash in the pan.
Putting salesmen on commission in that way is a classic ingredient to pressure selling. It incentivises anybody selling to push the price up and make a sale at a higher price.
Frank's got the job, and he's told that he'll have to shadow a carpet cleaning salesman until the weekend.
So once you've got Saturday out of the way, you can have a new van Monday and a licence to print money.
Absolutely brilliant.
Perhaps it's that licence to print money, or the fact that they're paid just by commission, but it's clear some Enterprise employees will go a very long way to close a sale, Dean included.
I had a chap once who walked in there. He just burst into tears, hysterical. He lost his wife about on a job.
Is that what you do when you're intrigued?
This is a horrible situation. So I said, I'll put me folder down. Listen, mate, you sit down. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't want to see it. I said that to him straight. I said, look, mate, if it's too much, you know what I mean?
She saw your
I'll get on your way.
He was
like, no, my wife booked it. She was alive and all that. Being a salesman, I went to his wife. One of our wishes to get your carpets clean. And he's like, yeah, but you never turned up. And I was like, well, listen, I took T20 off him. That stopped him from crying, mate. It's job there, is it? I tried his eyes out. It's a tough old world out there, mate. You know what I mean? Oh my God. But yeah, you just, some of the things of it, they're comical sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really funny. Later, he pairs our mole Frank up with this man, Duncan Fraser, who'll provide his initial training. Frank will shadow him for 3 days, then be expected to go out on the road alone. On the first day, Duncan explains what to do if a customer insists on the $8.99 clean they ordered.
Depends on the job. It's $8.99 job. In and out, mate. In and out, hoover the carpet, get it a bit wet. off, you know what I mean?
During Frank's 3 days of training, Duncan Fraser called on 8 householders who'd asked for the £8.99 clean. He sold more expensive services to 6 of them. He performed just one basic £8.99 clean and was asked to leave another house after he'd admitted that the cheap clean wouldn't work. Now, I wonder how he takes it.
Well, hey, what the I mean, I went through all the mate, you know what I mean? That's a perfect example of a time-wasting
Or valued customer. We've seen a lot. It's time to hear from our lawyer.
The $8.99 service is offered and then rubbished and dissed. That's classic bait and switch, where a more expensive service is then offered. Now, that's clearly company policy, as we saw from that Undercover video. They expect the service to be taken rarely. Potentially, this kind of thing carries up to 2 years in jail and an unlimited fine if it's prosecuted to the full extent it can be. I'd be interested to see if that actually happens.
Ooh, if I was in charge of Enterprise Cleaning Services UK, I'd be worried. But they've refused to give us an interview. We have tracked down branch manager Dean for a chat at his local golf club.
Hello, Dean. How you doing, Matt? All right.
How you doing? You
BBC Road Traders, yeah.
Oh, hang on a moment.
Enterprise Cleaning, isn't it?
Hang on, mate. I'll just call you back, mate.
Might be best. Yeah, about the bait and switch scam that you've been running on for Enterprise Cleaning, when you go into people's houses for the $8.99, but then sell up, as you say, to a much more expensive service that they hadn't anticipated. It's called bait and switch. It's outlawed now under Section 6 of the Consumer Protection Regulations 2008.
Right, OK. What you'll have to do, mate, is obviously...
We've put it to you in writing.
With these type of pressure tactics of your own, I think the best thing to do is, obviously, if you've got any complaints department...
We've put it to you in writing.
Yeah, and then obviously...
And you haven't come back to us. That's why we're here.
Again, I'm not a director of the company. I'm
You're
just
a manager.
Yeah.
You're a manager. What you do is you show a defective demo of the $8.99, so people aren't going to take it. As you say, it makes the carpet
on the contrary
dirty.
to that $8.99, we've got a series of $8.99s where people are actually happy with the service. Again, it's a maintenance offer that's due to be on carpets perhaps twice a year. Again, we've got proof of customers that are absolutely delighted with that.
But you've said that it doesn't work on carpets if they're not clean in the first place. It's only going to work on clean carpets. Who has their carpets cleaned if they're already clean?
If you let me finish there, like what we do when we go into the home, we do a brief analysis of the carpet. All depends on the condition of the carpet, basically. That gives us two things. Obviously, it tells us once how dirty the carpet is, and again, what sort of level of clean we can provide for the customer. Again, the customer's under no obligation. Again, what we're doing is just offer another service. If the carpet's therefore heavily dirty, again, we can offer other services on top of that clean.
Come on, you know that's rubbish. What?
It's not rubbish
the service
at all.
clean that you offer
Are you
in the first
a carpet
place,
cleaner?
You yourself have said it's ineffective.
Like I say, I don't really want to get...
You yourself have said it's ineffective.
I haven't said it's ineffective.
What it's there to do is get you in the front door so you can sell up in a bait and switch. It's a classic bait and switch.
But what I'm saying, we give the customer a fair...
He seems to be quite happy with his company's sales tactics. But what about his own?
How come then you said with such glee about the chap that you sold to after he'd lost his wife, and you said this is what she would have wanted, to have her carpet clean?
No,
the joy with which you told that story.
One moment there, that might have been a bit of playground talk there. That gentleman actually requested me to stay, and not once did I make fun of the fact that he was bereaved, OK? So let's just put that clear. I took T20 off him. That stopped him from crying, mate.
It's not there, is it?
I tried his eyes out. I'm quite confident that the gentleman will know that he's had a good job. And again, like I say, we had no complaints from him. OK, if you don't mind, I have got an appointment to go to. It's been interesting meeting you.
Thank you, Dean. Enterprise carpet cleaning. It's carpet cleaning, Jim, but not as we know it. We should stress that the company we're featuring is Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited of Wimborne in Dorset, not to be confused with anyone else. They say they do not accept inappropriate behaviour or pressure selling. They take customer satisfaction very seriously and continue to strive for improvements in their procedures and service levels. They've written to the customer we featured to address her complaint, but no satisfactory explanation as to why they are baiting and switching, and no photo of their boss, Andrew Briers, yet. So for now, it's his company's name that goes up in lights in our rogues gallery.